YouTube world. And I'm going to start this one out the way I start out every other video, with a you can find me all over the web. And let's not forget that Crafting with Six is one word, guys. Type it in as all one long word over there on Facebook. Now, before I get started, I want to give a quick shout out to my oldest daughter, who made this beautiful, beautiful cup for me. And right on there, she sketched my stage name, sketched it or painted it. I'm not sure. But if you go on over to my Crafting with Six, I'm sure she will explain it to you, what she did. This is absolutely gorgeous and eloquent. I love it. I can't thank her enough. And that one was in gold, and this one is in silver. This is absolutely, I just love this. I will treasure this forever. It is beautiful. Just beautiful, guys. And I can't thank her enough. And again, she is part of my Crafting with Six group. So if you go on over there, her name is Beta. I'm not going to give out her real name just for privacy purposes. Now, you all know that my stage name is Six. My nickname is Six. Some people here in the real world address me by that because that's what they've learned to know me by from knowing me online. Even when I made my shirt, I'm not sure if you can see, this is one of my Halloween shirts. You know, I have, for whatever reason, adapted to, you know, people calling me Six. So anybody that knows me online addresses me as Six, but that is not my actual name. Six is my stage name, and I think I explained this once before, that I actually came about that name because I was a 70s and 80s child. And if anybody remembers the show Blossom, Blossom's friend's name was Six. And I just always took a liking to that name. I thought it was unique, thought it was different. And as I got older, I learned to incorporate it into my nickname. And so it became my stage name as I found my way online in the different channels of internet. So that is how that name came about. Don't go try to Google me by that name. Don't go try to look me up by that name, because it is not. It's a stage name, guys. It's solely a stage name. And anybody that knows me in real life knows my real name. And I appreciate them very much for keeping that private, because that, you know, people that are in the public view tend to have a private life and a stage life. And this is my stage life, and my personal name is my private life. But that's not today's topic. I'm going to go on into today's topic with one last thank you, very much thank you to my beautiful oldest daughter who made those two cups for me. They are, guys, they're so beautiful. And again, it really just kind of sucks that you can't see them on this on my camera. You know, I don't have thousands of dollars worth of camera equipment, but these cups, guys, again, they're just absolutely beautiful. And she's painted these on here, or I'm not sure what you call it. You'd have to go over there and ask her, but they are just beautiful. I love them. Just love them. Okay, today's topic. How ready are you for, I'm not going to say a catastrophe, because catastrophe is such a horrific word, and people hear catastrophe and they're like, oh my God, what's coming? And not everything is a catastrophe. I know some people are ready for the end of the world. You've got your doomsday preppers, you've got your end of the world preppers, you've got your there's going to be some kind of global catastrophe preppers, you've got your gonna be, Jesus is coming preppers, and everybody, there's gonna be some kind of rapture, there's gonna be some kind of doomsday, there's gonna be something. Okay, let's put all the so-called paranoia prepping to the side for a minute. Let's think every day this could really happen. Prepping. Let's think, oh my gosh, I'm in Missouri, so what could realistically happen to me? Well, realistically, I could be in a flash flood. Realistically, I could be in a hailstorm, a snowstorm, a heat wave. I could be in the direct path or the indirect path of a hurricane or tornado. I mean, these are realistic things, guys, that could happen. How ready are you? Right now, where you're sitting, if the lights go out, is there an available flashlight for you and a secondary person? Have you checked the batteries lately? Do your flashlights work? Do your flashlights hold multiple positions? Guys, Harbor Freight, these are free with a coupon every, maybe once a month. So go get your Harbor Freight coupons. Go over to Harbor Freight. Sign up for their book, and these are free if you go in and make a purchase. And you can purchase anything. Guys, I go in and make a 99-cent purchase, whip this out with the coupon, walk away with my 99-cent coupon and my flashlights free. I actually have a few of these all over the house. So, and they're magnetic. So I have a metal table down here that you can't see, but it sits, it actually just clamps right there via the magnet. And so, if I'm sitting here and the lights go out, there's my flashlight, and it has two different positions, one straight ahead, so if I'm walking, and one I can set it down and it shines up like a lamp. And that's just part of my being ready because of where I'm at here in Missouri. I am subject to have my power go out, and that's real. I'm not talking about, the apocalypse. I'm not talking about the zombies. I'm not talking about the return of Jesus Christ, which we all know that's real too, assumingly. But I'm talking about something that could actually happen before I go to bed tonight. I mean, it is January here in Missouri. And so, seriously, before I go to bed tonight, there could be a hailstorm, there could be a snowstorm, there could be a heat wave. Anybody in Missouri knows anything about Missouri weather. You could wake up to a hailstorm and go to bed to a heat wave. I shit you not. But seriously, and here's something I never got. People will run to the store and wipe out the milk and bread aisle. Somebody comment below and tell me what that shit's about, because I don't get that. What the hell are you going to do with milk if your power goes out? But okay, I don't get it, but okay, you got a shit ton of milk, yay. Now here's some truth. If you're preparing for, let's say, let's just pick a hurricane or a tornado. I forget the difference. But let's just say you're going to be in the middle of, your power's going to be out. So the milk's out the window, guys. Usually when we have the aftermath of a hurricane or a tornado passing through, the aftermath is usually we're without power for anywhere from 8 hours to 3 days. So if we were going to, let's just pick that and go with that. If I was going to be food ready for something like that, I would say let's have non-perishable foods that can stay in a cooler. And you don't have power, so you're going to be eating on things like sandwiches. So peanut butter and jelly is a real good thing to have around. Maybe luncheon meats, because you can put those in a cooler. And if it's January, like it is right now, you can stick a cooler outside, and your food will stay cold enough in that cooler where you shouldn't lose it. But in preparing for things that you may lose your power in, you want to have things like canned goods. You want to have make sure all your devices are charged. That way your children can be somewhat entertained, and you want to have alternative places to charge your things. Now, some restaurants, and not everybody can go out to eat during times like this, I get that, and then they may not want you on the road. So if you have alternative ways of charging your laptops and cell phones, that's great. I happen to live next to the airport, so, and my husband happens to work there, so I guess if it became an emergency, he could take at least my cell phone, probably not laptops and iPads and all that other crap, but he could probably take at least my cell phone and his to work and charge it for us. But if you don't have that option, then look for other options, guys, and look for those things now as opposed to when they happen. So if you are able to go out and eat, and I'm not saying you have to go get $100 meal during these times. If you have $5 or $10, go on over to Shoney's, and a lot of these places have an outlet where you can plug your things in, and if nothing else, sip on a cold drink. Or I'm sorry, here in Missouri, there's sodas. I'm from New Orleans, so we call them cold drinks, but cold drinks, sodas, a Coke and a smile, guys. Have a Coke and a smile while your phone charges. And don't waltz in with all your electronics, because that's just, that's ghetto fabulous, guys. Don't do it, But now let's talk about things where you may be shut in, but you may not lose your power. Because here's the thing. Where I'm at, if the roads get too slick, like say we have freezing rain and then we have snow, our grocery stores will close up, and the majority of the time our gas stations will close up. So with that being a thing, you may want to prepare for 3 to 5 days worth of food, entertainment, and necessities for you and each member in your household. Not to mention, you may want to prepare for 2 to 3 people stopping by, because some people may not be as prepared, and so you don't want to have to turn those people away, whether they're friend or family, in that time of need. So you prepare ahead, because I am telling you how to do it, and maybe show this video to them. Now, things that you want to have for times of electricity, but not being able to get to the store, because let's say, like I just said, let's say there's a hailstorm. In my town where I'm at in Missouri, if we get freezing rain, because the roads will get like slick. I've been sitting here where I'm sitting right now and watch people come down my road, and literally this last year scared the crap out of me. This lady came down, and she was going this way, and I don't know if she hit the brakes. I don't know what happened, but she just slid, and she hit the white truck that was parked across the street and carried it on down and hit the damn car that was parked down there, and she just wiped out 2 cars. And I was like, damn. You know, but I mean, when I say our roads get slick, our roads get slick. If we have freezing rain and then snow, our roads get slick. So our grocery stores will close, our gas stations will close, our schools will close. It's like a ghost town. Everything closes. So you want to be prepared for that. And in being prepared for that, you want to have food. Let's talk about food. You want to have non-perishable food items, because even if you start out with electricity, a day or two in, you may end up with no electricity. But let's just say you have electricity for the first couple of days. What you want to do is you want to cook foods in the beginning that's going to be enough to last you for the week. And when I say last you a week, you want stuff that you can put in a container that will fit in a cooler and will fit outside the back door. That way, in the event the electricity does go off, you don't have to worry about cooking food, and you don't have to worry about where to store it. Okay, you want to have things like red beans, rices, pastas, maybe Roman noodles or ramen noodles, however you pronounce it. They're not really a staple. There's not a whole lot of nutrition to those, but I guess eating beats eating now. So, but I'm not a real big ramen noodle person. My kids eat those. I buy them here and there, but they're wax. They're wax noodles. But, you know, anyway, you want to have things that have some kind of nutritional value to them. Nuts, guys. Nuts have a lot of protein to them. Walnuts, pistachios, almonds, peanuts. I have cans for days. I love the honey roasted kind. But the plain, just any kind of nuts, pecans, they are high in protein. Have some of them, if you eat enough, have just as much protein in them as meat, and they are non-perishable, will last you forever and a day. So things like that. Crackers. Guys, let me tell you something. Crackers, unlike bread will not only go stale, but it will mold and mildew. Crackers will go stale. They will not mold and mildew. So crackers are basically a non-perishable food. They will go stale. Everybody knows they'll go stale, but they will not mold and mildew. And you get hungry enough, that stale cracker look good. So you definitely want to have cereals, dry cereals, because you can eat cereal dry. Cereal might go stale, but you get hungry enough, that stale cereal will look good. You be chewing, popping bubbles with it because it's that damn stale, but ass cereal beating ass cereal. So, you know, you want to have non-perishable foods, guys. Anything, and like I said, anything that might be perishable, you know, when you've got electricity, you want to cook, and don't overdo it, because, you know, prepare for a week. And make your food. If your refrigerator's running and the electric's on, that's great. You want to make a week's worth of food. And don't make a month's worth, because you don't want to waste your food in the end. And 9 out of 10, your electric will be back on within 3 days to a week. The longest I've ever been without electric here in the house that I'm at was I want to say it might have been 5 or 6 days. It's been a couple of years, but I believe it was 5 or 6 days. So, you know, you want to have things. We have things like kerosene lamps to put out. A lot of those things are brilliant. I love them. They light up an entire room. But you also want to have things like your flashlights. Guys, seriously, get your coupon, go to Harbor Freight, get these. They are awesome, and they stick right on this table right here next to me. Then, simple as a box cutter. because you never know when you're going to have to cut, you never know. Some meat, you might have to cut, you never know. I don't want to say you're going to have to cut a person because I've never been in that situation. So, but, you know, a little self-protection goes a long ways. But that's a whole nother story in itself. And definitely, guys, definitely during any kind of situation where you lose power, during the nighttime, you definitely want to secure your house because there are people out there that will take advantage. So make sure your windows are secure. Make sure your doors are secure. Make sure your kids are secure. Don't go outside. After dark, just don't go outside. You know, don't do it. During the day, if you want to venture out and see what's going on, talk to your neighbors, whatever, that's fine. That's great and dandy. Now that we've talked about food supply, you want to, guys, make sure you have non-perishable foods and cook a week's for, like, if your power goes out and you're pretty sure, now it may be back on within an hour. But if it looks like 3 hours into it, looks like you're not going to have power for a while, I would start cooking, you know, and like I said, don't overdo it. Make a pot of beans, a pot of red beans and rice. Should last your family, if you portion it right, a week. I mean, simply 1 pot of red beans and rice, because I'm sure you've got other foods besides the red beans and rice. I'm sure you've got, you know, bread, make sandwiches, you know, things to that nature. So as far as cooked food go, I would make one, I wouldn't go in there and start cooking up all the meat, start cooking up, don't do that. That's crazy, that's overdoing it. Make you 1 pot of red beans and rice, you know, and those should cook for about 6 hours, 6 to 8 hours. And, you know, have your red beans, have sandwiches, have things to that nature. Now, I want to talk about being ready in other areas. Females, we want to be ready as far as sanitary napkins. We want to be ready as far as clean clothes. We want to be ready as far as bath soap, if you have a favorite bath soap, if you have a favorite perfume. If, you want to have those things stocked up but not overstocked. At any given time, I have at least 2 bags of sanitary pads in my house. And in case, you know, you never know. If you have babies, you want to make sure you have at least, you know, enough to get you through a week or more, as far as wipe goes, as far as diapers go, as far as extra clean clothes go. Now, if your baby likes to spit up a lot, then you may want to have a grocery bag or a trash bag full of clean clothes put to the side. That way you can change baby 20 times a day for a week, you know, because if your washer machine is electric, it ain't running. And you can't go down to the laundromat because, you know, the power's out in your entire town. So these are things to think about, guys. I mean, because seriously, and that's going to be the title of this one, how ready are you? You know, I mean, these are things to think about. Do you have Band-Aids? Do you have a small first aid kit? And I'm not saying run out and get a suturing kit, because nobody knows how to do stitches but a doctor. So, you know, let's not overdo that either. You want to make sure you have things like Band-Aids. You want to make sure you have rubbing alcohol. You want to make sure, and that's just everyday things if you have little kids. You want to have antibiotic creams and like Neosporin and things like that. You want to make sure you have disposable cups like this. Maybe some disposable silverware. Maybe some disposable plates. Because you never know, guys. And look, when you have no electricity, you have no hot water unless your thing is gas, and mine is gas. So, you know, even if my electric goes off, I still have the gas. So at some point, I am still able to cook. if I can light my stove with a lighter, which is great. Then you don't have to worry about, doing a week's worth of food. You can slowly cook over time. But if your house or apartment is all electric, then you might want to consider having, the disposable cups, plates, and spoons and stuff, that way, forks, because you don't want to, at the end of this storm, have a sink full of dishes this high because you had to eat all week. So, and then you want to think about having things to the side to entertain each other or to entertain yourself. If you don't have the internet because you don't have Wi-Fi, because you don't have electricity, and your Wi-Fi hub is, is your laptop charged up enough so you can watch a movie? Do you have some place to recharge it, so if you do watch a movie, your battery's not drained to the point where you can't recharge it? What about reading material? What about crosswords? What about find a word? What about coloring? What about arts and crafts? I can show you over in my group how to make many crafting projects that don't require any electricity. So go on over there and check that out. But seriously, guys, in preparing, we don't have to prepare for the second coming of Christ, because if he's coming, then we're going. So there's really not a whole lot of prep you can do for that other than be saved and according to, the Bible and the Christians. But if you want to be prepared for something like a natural, I don't want to say disaster because not everything's a disaster, but if you want to be ready for like a storm, like a hailstorm, or, a hurricane, a tornado, heat wave, a blizzard, things that flash floods that realistically happen in your hometown, then you know what? You need to do that, because if you have kids or elderly, or you just want to take care of yourself, then, find out what happens most in your state. If it could be in the summertime, it could be heat waves, it could be in the wintertime, it could be hailstorms, it could be in the springtime, it could be hurricanes and tornadoes. Be prepared, guys. Be prepared. Especially if you have kids or if you have elderly people in your household, and being prepared is the basics, is having food, but sometimes you need to go beyond let me think about food. You need to think about the food, you need to think about the entertainment, you need to think about the toiletries, like I said, toothbrush, toothpaste, toilet papers, pads for girls. You need to think about soap. You need to think about what is going to be your alternative to laundry. You need to think about having diapers, formula, things to that nature, medications like Tylenols, Advils. You also need to think about prescription drugs. If you're on something for diabetes, you might want to have a little bit set to the side, because you don't want to run out during the week that Walgreens is closed because the roads are too slick to get to the store. So these are all things that you want to think about. And you want to think about entertainment, because, if it's going to last a week, you want to figure out how are you going to entertain yourself and each other. And, you might want to do some kind of arts and craft project. You might want to play cards, have a deck of cards ready. You might want to play checkers. You might, so just, these are things to think about, guys. And again, you might want to think about Band-Aids. You might want to think about things like Neosporin creams. You know, I mean, just whatever specific to your family, whatever specific to your needs, to the amount of people in your house, to the ages of the people in your house. So, you know, it's just something to think about, because seriously, I mean, we all know that eventually the zombie apocalypse will happen. We all know that the second coming of Jesus is gonna happen, but we want to be prepared for something that might happen or could realistically happen in the next year, not something that might happen in the next decade, or might not even happen in our lifetime. So, you know, I mean, realistically, figure out your weather patterns and then be ready for them. Because like I said, hurricanes, tornadoes, flash floods, snow blizzards, heat waves, anything that can go on in your town that can happen realistically this week. Are you prepared for it? And how prepared are you? And have you thought of every area of preparedness as far as food, entertainment, medical, laundry, bathroom? Have you thought about all that? You know, all your day-to-day needs that you have when you're not in a catastrophe or a storm, you're going to need when you are. So, because you're still going to have to eat and use the bathroom and figure out clean clothes, and there won't be any TV and there won't be me on the internet because you won't have any electricity. So these are all things to think about, guys. So give them some thought. Again, give this some thought. Go check it out. Guys, I'm here on YouTube and two different channels.
Your cart is empty. To add items, you can say things like, add batteries to my cart, or add
Alexa,
to my...
Stop. Don't know what I said to trigger her, but anyways, guys, all over the web, you can find me. I'm in two places. On YouTube, I am here, and I am Crafting with Six, so go check that channel out. I am Puppy Shark Z on Instagram. I am Hush Puppy Z on YouTube, as well as Crafting with Six, and I am Crafting with Six on Facebook. So go check that out, guys, and get ready. Get ready and get those coupons and get your butt on over to Harbor Freight. Get those free flashlights, because, guys, let me tell you, even if you have no interest in these, like I said, they have the magnet on them, and they're free. And, guys, look, if your power goes out, these little lights are just great to stick on the wall. If you have a metal outlet on your wall or something metal that you could stick on your wall, great night lights for children. Great source of, if the lights go out, for kids to, you know, they're small, the kids can use these instead of using your $50 flashlights. And look, Harbor Freight is a great place to get all of your, like, hardware things, as far as flashlights, screwdrivers, all those things. So, you know, go on over there, sign up for their coupon book, and every month we get a coupon book, and it has something in it for free, whether it's a little set of screwdrivers, or whether it's their magnet bowl plate, which I have a couple of those over there on the wall, the flashlights, or tarps, or they've always got a little something. So there's no reason why you shouldn't be over there getting a 99-cent something and getting your free item, which, when it comes to being prepared, you can't have too many flashlights, guys. So, all right, I'm going to wrap this one up with, again, I want to thank my oldest daughter for these beautiful cups. I love these cups. They truly are just exquisite. Very eloquent, and I love them. I can't wait to use them. You'll probably see them in further shows, since you did put my stage name on them. I think that's great. So, guys, today is January what is today? January the 19th. It is Sunday. this 2020, and it is 10:30 a.m. exactly in my world. Guys, happy Sunday, wrapping up the weekend, rolling on into a brand new week, and I hope your new week is off to a good start. Happy end of the weekend to you. Have a good one, guys.